Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unraveling the mystery of a massive, rapidly growing cyber threat that literally bypasses the absolute best, most advanced security filters your IT team can buy. And the craziest part? It doesn't use complex coding or zero-day exploits. It does it simply by convincing you, the user, to just pick up the phone and make a call. We're talking about a threat that is completely upending how we have to think about digital security and employee trust. Look at this staggering number. According to a recent Proofpoint report, 67% of surveyed end users and organizations fell victim to this specific callback threat in 2023 alone. Just let that sink in for a second. More than 2/3 of organizations have been successfully targeted by a tactic that completely circumvents all our traditional digital walls. So the core question we are going to unpack today is this: why do 67% of employees trust Toad? It's a paradox, right? I mean, with decades of security awareness training drilling into our heads that we absolutely must not click suspicious links or download weird attachments, what is it about this new attack that successfully tricks so many of us? We've gotten pretty good at hovering over URLs and checking sender addresses, And cybercriminals know this. They know our email filters are catching their malicious links, so they've adapted with a surprisingly low-tech twist that preys entirely on human nature. The answer to our question is Toad. That stands for Telephone-Oriented Attack Delivery. It's this invisible threat where the email you receive is completely 100% clean. There's literally no malicious payload for your software to scan. The true malware in this scenario is actually just a plain text phone number. The attacker uses a clean email, an SMS, or even a calendar invite as a lure, and shifts the actual manipulation off the digital network and onto a live telephone call. This right here brilliantly illustrates the contrast between the threats of yesterday and the threats of today. While traditional phishing relies on malicious code that your secure email gateways and antivirus filters are specifically designed to catch, Toad relies entirely on a human conversation. Because these emails are often sent from legitimate, albeit compromised services like Google or Microsoft domains, they easily pass standard authentication checks. They slip right past our digital defenses because, well, to a computer, a phone number is just a string of text. Let's move into Section 1, Anatomy of an Attack. Okay, so here is the classic Toad playbook. Picture this. You're at your desk and you receive an unexpected email invoice for $500 for a well-known antivirus software subscription you never even purchased. And it looks incredibly authentic. Panicked that your corporate card is being charged, you call the customer service number prominently displayed on the invoice to dispute it. When you call, a friendly, calm, and highly professional-sounding operator answers the phone. They empathize with your frustration and promise to fix it right away. Then, to process your refund, they smoothly guide you into installing what they call a support tool. But actually, it's remote access software. Once installed, they have the keys to your entire corporate network. Next up, Section 2, Why We Trust It. The crucial point is right here in this quote. In standard phishing or even standard vishing, where the attacker cold calls you, your guard is naturally up. But in a Toad attack, you, the victim, initiate the call. You're dialing the number because you firmly believe you are fixing a fraudulent charge or solving an urgent problem. Because you're the one taking action, your brain assumes you are in control. Your natural skepticism and defenses automatically drop. You just aren't expecting the person you called for help to be the attacker. Plus, a phone call just feels personal and legitimate in a way an email no longer does. We've been trained to distrust emails, but a live, professional-sounding human voice on the other end of the line, complete with simulated call center background noise, feels inherently trustworthy. The operator establishes a rapid emotional rapport. They use active listening, empathy, and subtle pressure to bypass your logic. It's an absolute masterclass in social engineering, and they are actively exploiting our deeply ingrained human desire to trust a helpful voice. Now let's look at Section 3, the AI escalation. Global telemetry shows a staggering 10 million Toad attacks are launched every single month. In some months, that actually spikes to 13 million. To put that into perspective, that represents a 554% year-on-year increase in telephone-enabled phishing campaigns. And the average monetary loss from a single Toad incident in the US is around $43,000, with some cases easily exceeding $1 million. So yeah, this is a booming underground economy. And the operation has become incredibly organized and technically advanced. Attackers don't even need to be good on the phone anymore. They just rent out Toad as a service, from underground platforms like Quattro, complete with multilingual operators, auto-dialers, and spoofed caller IDs. Even more terrifying is the integration of AI. Using AI voice cloning tools, an attacker needs only 60 seconds of a person's public audio, say from a corporate video, to perfectly mimic your boss, your CFO, or a trusted executive in real time. You think you're talking to a colleague, but you're actually talking to an algorithm controlled by a hacker. Finally, Section 4, Stopping the Toad. So here are your golden rules for defense to ensure your organization doesn't become part of that 67%. First and foremost, out-of-band verification. If you get a suspicious invoice, never call the number on the email. Instead, go to your browser, search for the official company website, and call the public number listed there. Second, on the IT side, organizations must strictly control and restrict the installation of remote access tools on company devices, so a user literally can't be talked into installing malware. Third, deploy phishing-resistant multi-factor authentication. That way, even if a password is stolen over the phone, the attacker can't use it. And finally, we have to modernize our security training. We need to shift our mental focus from just looking for bad links to being highly suspicious of unexpected phone numbers. So, we've seen exactly why 67% of employees fall for this. We've seen how easily human trust is weaponized by shifting the attack from a scannable email to a highly persuasive AI-enhanced phone conversation. This leaves us with one final, absolutely crucial question for you to consider to keep your organization safe. When the next unexpected, urgent invoice arrives in your inbox, will you take the bait and dial their number? Or will you stop, breathe, and verify the source?